The door can be opened easily from the outside. If it was up to me, it would stay open. This flower was given to us by the fairies, just like the love lily down in the garden. I bet they belong together. Water's the easiest ingredient to find. We have copious amounts of it here. That should do it. The medicine book reckoned that it should be a viscous potion. It's a start, but there are still ingredients missing. Look, do you know this flower?
Ha ha ha! You did well, girl.
It would appear so.
You snivelling, girl. You all right?
No. Yes? I don't know.
Well then, I think I've earned myself a little rest now.
The pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit. The pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit. That's Arbor's little spade. He always leaves his stuff all over the garden, which of course drives Mother mad. You're having a good time, I see.
What can I do for you?
If I were ill and needed to make some medicine, then you'd help me with that, wouldn't you?
Ill? You're an elf. Elves don't get ill.
But if I were...
Oh, come on. Now tell me. How can I help you?
Do we have a lettuce bush in the garden here?
That bush over yonder.
But that fruit's red.
And what colour do you expect, then?
Green. Are they only green when they're not ripe?
Nah, they're blue then. They're green when the bush senses danger.
Pardon?
The lettuce bush has exceptionally delicious sweet fruit. But if it thinks it's in danger, then they go green and very sour. Call it a defence mechanism.
Ah, and the bush only has red fruit because it has nothing to be afraid of here.
That's right.
Do you know how I could get my hands on some honey?
Try the kitchens.
I prefer not to wander through the castle.
Of course. Someone would tell your mother.
Would that beehive in the tree over there be of any help?
Oh, I'd be careful with that. The bees defend their honey and can give you a nasty sting.
Couldn't they be distracted or tricked in some way?
Beekeepers wear protective clothes and use smoke that calms the bees. But I don't have any beekeeper kit here. I just let the bees keep their honey and they pollinate my flowers. That's how we've always done it.
I often see you fishing. Could you lend me your rod?
Of course, if you bring it back in one piece. What's up?
I was convinced that I would have to make my own fishing rod or that you'd ask me to collect a variety of mystical items in exchange for it.
Why? It's only a rod.
Thanks.
Well, everything needs to be complicated, you know.
there's something else. You shouldn't smoke.
Why not?
It's not healthy.
No lungs, no problems.
Don't you think it's a bit weird and warped to smoke yourself?
Yeah, I know. I'm terrible. Don't tell no one, though.
Do you sometimes miss your old life and the world out there?
It's comfortable here, to be sure.
And boring.
Well, if you're bored, then why stay?
Me? Well, I'm the princess. And Mother's scared that something might happen to me out there. And to be honest, she's probably right.
Well, of course something could happen to you. And what's it called when things happen to you? Life. That's what it's called. You fall over, you get up, you laugh, you cry, you do daft things. Well, how can one enjoy the sunshine if it never rains?
I have to get on. Don't work too hard.
That I won't.
If the bush had a heart, it would have skipped a few beats. Thanks. The pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit. I don't have a clue about fishing, but I'll try my luck. Just as I expected, nothing. On the other hand, somehow I have the feeling that I now know what I'm doing. I guess that I can just practice until I'm good enough. A classic. A classic. A classic. Nothing. Pity. Pity. At last. Now I can tick the red herring off my list. I've got what I need, but this is so much fun. And perhaps I'll have a bit of luck catching other interesting things in the pond. Pity. A classic. A fishing hat, which not so long ago I thought was extremely hideous. But now... I am the master of all rods, the ruler of the river and the goddess of the water! And what's more, I'm looking good. That's me and fishing done. I've reached my peak. There's only a little water left in the bird bath. Cheep Cheep always says that it evaporates quickly. I, however, think that the constant need to replenish the water is more down to his unbridled joyous splashing and not insignificant body mass. Goldsmithing, masonry, and a book about carpentry. Like all books in this library, it's a guest present. The logic behind this must be, those elves, they have so many beautiful statues and items of wood. They'll be really interested in this. Why don't we present them with a book about it? What they don't realise, though, is that if we're interested in a subject, then we'll already know pretty much all there is to know about the matter, and the book's of no use to us whatsoever. Right. Aha, oh, twice in a row, then, that was educational. Working with wood. There's a master whittler down in the valley. I've enjoyed watching him in the past. He carves animal figures so real that humans and dwarfs believe that they are actually animals turned into wood. This one's more about interiors, making furniture and the like. Plane the wood down by a pixie's thumb and saw the board into 2 equal length pieces. Who knows what that might be good for? Perhaps the tree would like to hear a little story from the book. One can easily fell a tree with the help of an axe and wedges. In my experience, nothing beats a sharp saw guided by 2 men. Slish, slash! The teeth of the saw bite into the wood, and in a few minutes, even the largest tree tumbles to the ground. After this, the smaller branches and the bark are removed from the trunk using hatchets. Once the tree is sawn into several pieces, it's ready to be transported away. Oh, I'm so sorry. It'll be all right. You'll see. Arbor's pot, literally. I really shouldn't... it's only Earth. I should tell Mother how her daughter... well, she'd be delighted. The worms provide a great lure and should increase my fishing success rate, whatever that is. I always hang one onto the hook before I cast the line out. Mother pours water from various jugs into this bowl to cast a spell over the mirror. She did this almost daily in times gone by to ask the mirror who was the fairest elf in all the lands. Ever since the mirror started to hesitate with the answer a few months ago, she hasn't been using it quite so much. The pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit. Hi, Arbor.
What you got there? Be that the hat of a master fisher?
Yep, pulled it out of the pond.
But I've been trying for years to hook one of those.
Well, talent will out.
That ain't be talent. That be pure luck. Mappin'. Sooner or later, old Arbor will get some luck too.
pot of gold, and no grumpy leprechaun protecting it. What a stroke of luck. A pot of gold will be accepted anywhere as payment. It's a bit less than a pile of filthy lucre, but a bit more than a heap of dough. A book about woodcrafts, sanding, cutting, hammering, all that sort of stuff. The pipe smoke seems to have calmed them down a bit. A handy smooth stone, Arbor's sheepdog. This is Mother's mirror. It's said that you can see into the furthest corners of the land and know what's happening in every part of the world. At the moment, it's no more than a shallow bowl. The water's missing. I will only deploy this flower in self-defense, or when it could prove amusing. Isn't that just lovely? Two plants that have found each other and want to spend the rest of their lives together. You're having a good time, I see.
What can I do for 'ee?
I don't need your spade anymore. I've put it over there.
Ah, that's great. And you've dug a lovely hole, too, right in the middle of my lawn.
Ah, sorry about that.
Oh, what the heck. I'll plant it with something.
Look, I found this book in the library.
Woodcrafts? Why are you showing me that?
I thought it might interest you.
I don't like horror stories.
Horror stories?
Wood that has been clamped into a revolving monstrosity to be whittled down layer by layer to the core? What do you call that, then?
Sorry, never looked at it like that.
Branches sawed off, boards nailed together, wood treated with chemicals. Oh, sick stuff.
About the potion,
Art?
there's something else. I have to get on. Don't work too hard.
Art, that I won't.
There are reeds and water lilies growing in the pond. Naturally, they were planted there. They don't grow in the wild so high up the mountains. I can't think of any use for a water lily, but a reed could come in handy. Hi.
Well, what's up?
What are the...
The green... You have to put every...
Thank you for your help.
That's what I'm here for.